To order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Carly, you want to call the roll for us?
Sure. Brad Bassick.
Here.
Ed Ripe.
Here.
Joe Skavarik.
Here.
Nicole Kelly. Jen Wilson.
Here.
Irene Morales.
Here.
Olivia Hughes.
Here.
Christian Bartholomew.
Here.
Robin Arvanitis. Not here.
Okay, you know what? Before we go to minutes, I'm going to interrupt the agenda a little bit. I'd like to award the parade winners, if they're here, their trophies so that they don't have to sit through all of our boring stuff.
Are they here?
Are
they award
enjoy this
winners?
beautiful evening. Are you guys parade winners? No?
Nope.
That's Colin for fire.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, wonderful.
Let's wait then.
They
Okay.
said that they were going to try to make it, but it looks like they did not.
Okay, well, you know what? Then we'll table it for the end then. That's great to know, all right? In case they do come. All right, first up, approval of the minutes from the June 3rd, 2026.
Make a motion to approve the minutes?
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. We already talked about moving the parade winners. We're going to jump to donations. Irene, you want to talk to us about the donations?
Sure. Do you have the information? Go ahead, Olivia.
It's on the agenda. I didn't know if you just wanted to go through them out loud.
Sure. Oh, I have the agenda.
Hello.
Yeah, there we go.
These are mainly candy donations, and we did get some today from the Firefighters Union as well, so we have a bit more, but as of right now, we have Verbeek Pressure Washing, $30, Magical Enchanted Vacations, $45, CNO Glow, $40, Stylecraft, $45, and Big Mike's, $125, all worth of candy for Hocus Pocus Candy Drop.
Awesome. You just need a motion to approve those donations.
Motion to approve?
Okay, we have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. Irene, any correspondence?
None.
Any reports from staff?
Do you want to go ahead and start?
Yeah, so we just had some notes from Schererville Fest and fireworks, and I know we'll probably talk about it more. Just from a logistics standpoint, we reviewed the ticketing system, and we got mixed feedback. Overall, though, it went very smoothly, just small tweaks for next year. Things like eliminating the email address requirement, things like that for typing in people's information that just made it a little bit slower.
Okay.
So next year we definitely want to focus on getting people into the park quicker and then kind of redistribute the lines, improve signage, things like that.
Okay.
Vendors, band went very well, parade went well. We were discussing about maybe obtaining a new stage for the parade that can fit in front of Town Hall to kind of make it more community centered.
Gotcha.
And then family focus more next year. So we talked about doing other entertainment options rather than just bands. So maybe some sort of kids performer, magician, things like that.
Cool.
So that was for Schererville Fest, and then
Okay.
fireworks went very well, just the heat.
Yeah.
Kind of the same, but overall very well.
Awesome. Very cool. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Any other reports?
I don't necessarily have a report, but I did want to somewhat go over, we just had our midsummer tournament with NSA.
Oh, yeah.
That was June 26th through the 28th. I don't have any finalized numbers for you yet. I wanted to wait until the spring summer portion of concession was over so I can give you guys a full report of everything we've done. But so far, that was our highest grossing tournament we've ever had.
Wow.
For reference, last year's NSA World Series, I believe we made a little over 6,000. We made 9,000 in 3 days
Great.
from this one.
Awesome.
And then next week is World Series, so hoping we can beat that.
That'd be great. Cool. Thank you, Carly. Anything else, Irene, on your end?
I assume weather was good for that tournament?
It was very hot.
Yeah, I bet it was.
As of right now, I did give you guys the report on the funding aspects on Fest and fireworks.
Yeah.
They're not 100% completed.
Okay.
I am working on, waiting on a couple of vendors to add to that. So far, I mean, we're not in the red, so that's pretty good.
That helps.
Yeah, I mean, granted, you know, we did lose 2 days of Fest, we were able to recruit that. I know with the bands, we pushed those over to different events. And I think the only ones we weren't able to was Echoes because of their contract. But as of right now, we're doing decent.
Good.
You know, I'll have final numbers
Okay.
next week, so.
Okay, awesome. Look forward to hearing more.
Irene, when you say push them over, are we going to use them somewhere else?
Yes, we're using them for another event. So, yeah, so it's kind of like, we haven't physically paid for them, but we had those funds put aside already. So we're able to, with their contract, move them for different events.
And they're agreeable to that?
Yes, yeah. Well, you know, we talked to them beforehand. As part of their contract, we don't have to pay them. Echoes is the only band that's different in that aspect.
Okay.
So, yeah. But it's great, we get to still see them, look forward to them. So.
Yeah, okay. Awesome.
And
ahead.
then, as far, with the Schererville Fest and stuff, was there like a debriefing and how, you know, like, I feel like this year you guys were doing, every year I think safety is an issue, and it seemed to me to go very smoothly when I was there, and I just was wondering if there's any,
Yes.
are you guys reporting on that this time, or is it next month, or?
We usually do it right after, just so everybody's still on the same page. We did do it already. We had, it was a department head meeting. We kind of just went over, because we want to know what fire has to say, PD mostly, just how other departments did. I know, I don't have the exact number in front of me, but I think police only made about 17 arrests this year, where last year I know it was way above
Oh,
that.
that's down dramatically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, okay.
So,
Yeah, that's great.
right. So I think too, they're catching a lot more at the door, basically, than, you know, and kids are noticing this more now, like, hey, they're gonna check our bags, you know, so it's
Yeah.
not ever gonna be perfect, but we're heading that way,
Yeah,
which is
that's
great.
Okay.
And then what do you guys think of, how do you think the ticketing at the door went? Like, were you pleased with those results?
Yes, so, you know, like I said, everything's perfect. Our biggest hiccup was probably the internet at one point. I know we do have a solution for next year. We did talk to Dan about that, about separating the service, because we're on the same network as PD. So hopefully that will help. It's been worse. Yeah, as far as everything running smoothly, the only area, well, so we were divided into 3 different lanes. Residents, people who had already purchased, so they just scanned and go, and then people who needed to purchase. So the ones who needed to purchase, that was a heavy line. It just kept coming and going, but I didn't get much complaint. I don't know if you guys want to chime in on this.
Kind of what Olivia already said, just there was a portion when we were actively selling tickets to people in that one line, the line that Irene's talking about that got pretty long. A big factor for that was all the information we had to input, so that's something we're gonna look at for next year
Yeah.
to tweak a lot of that, because that's really what took the longest, was getting all that information in. I mean, it doesn't seem like it'd be a lot, but entering someone's email does take a lot of time
Yeah.
when there's 100 people in line, so.
Right. Yeah, and
Yes.
they're trying to spell it out to you, and it's
Right.
loud, and,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
okay.
And then even like looking beyond the numbers, because of course we can look at ticket sales and numbers, but Carly and I were both selling tickets, and I think qualitatively, like the feedback we received, I think it was less negative than we had expected.
Okay.
Like there was many people that had complaints, but they would understand once we explained it, they would still pay the fee. I think I could count on one hand over the 3 days how many people actually left when I told them they had to pay. So I think overall it went as well as it could have.
Okay,
Right.
all right.
Do you, I know like, one year it was, kids, I forget what age, was it under 18 had to be
18.
with adults? This year you guys did not do that, correct? It was
No, we
just-
You
did.
did that.
Oh, you did do that?
Yeah.
Oh,
And they
okay.
were very much implementing that at the gate.
Correct.
Okay.
And then after a certain time, no one under the age of, I believe, 21 could be
Yeah,
in.
after 9 o'clock.
Oh,
So
okay.
if they were already in the park, they can stay, but they weren't letting anyone else
Letting in new.
Yeah. So honestly, that was probably the only complaint that was, you know, like, oh, I can't bring my child, it's after 9, you know, especially On Sunday, the rides shut off at 9, so there was really nothing left going on. Yeah,
Yeah,
mhm,
okay.
so.
And then, will you guys be able to share the debriefing with us? Like, did you write it down, or did you just chat about it?
Yeah,
Like, do you
well,
have a report
yeah,
other
we
than
have some notes.
financial, like, just, okay.
Yeah, so, are you talking, like, do you want us to just send you our,
What's that?
like, send you our notes, or do you want us to?
Yeah, if you had any, like,
Yeah.
just other feedback, I know we have all the financials and stuff, but just kind of like how, you know, good,
Yeah, no.
bad, or whatever.
Right, definitely. Yeah, so I mean, it's always good for us to have these meetings because we all see, and I'm talking every different department sees a different aspect of it or things that we need to change. So it's very informative to help us with the next year. Entry-wise, we did talk about moving that out more, so to catch more, there was just little things like how she said with inputting information, things that we catch now that we can change next year to move these lines faster.
Yes.
And I imagine that, like, the crowds are gonna adapt too. Like, I'm sure the people that waited in that line and paid
Right.
$10 per person to get in
Yes.
are next year gonna be like, I'm not doing that again. How do I buy in advance, right? Like, I would be
Hope so.
shocked
Yeah.
if
I mean,
next year we see a lot more
granted,
$5
there-
payments than $10 payments.
Right, granted, there was a QR code right by the entrance.
Yes.
So they could have
So-
just done it right there.
There were
Yeah.
QR codes all over,
Yes,
and
so-
everyone ignored them.
Yeah,
So,
and I don't believe anybody asked you, right?
no, and we made those signs as simple as can be, giant QR code, and I think it said, like, buy in advance,
Yeah.
$5, at gate, $10, so.
Yeah, so,
I actually use it, now, see, I hate to admit, but I was confused. I thought if you were a Schererville resident, it was $5. So my husband and I both got a ticket, but it's fine.
oh, okay.
Pause.
Maybe we could reimburse her.
Schererville, no, it's for a good
Why
cause.
does she want the notes if she don't read the thing to begin with?
Right.
That's what, no,
Yeah.
because it said to pay, so I did use the QR code. It just didn't say, Schererville free on the.
I think it said non-resident, though. It did say
Oh,
that, yeah. So,
But now that we've done it once, hopefully people will kind of get the idea. So I think following years will be much
We
smoother.
implemented a $10 non-reading tax.
yes. We'll put non-resident in
Well,
bold
for
letters.
Schererville,
Just
but
then for you and your
Schererville,
husband.
like-
Yeah,
Put
yeah, yeah.
$10 down first, so she'll
I got
Right.
it. I got you. We'll talk, okay?
The
We'll
other
talk, Old Man
thing,
Rivers.
just from my observation from working at a booth at the fest, something to maybe think about, because some of the youngsters, we had electrical at our booth, and a lot of the kids were like plugging into our plugs, which is totally fine, because we want them to have a phone to call their parents. But I wonder if we could have like a charging station,
That's actually-
somewhere at the fest for,
That's not
you
a bad
know,
idea.
the young
Right.
kids, yeah.
Yeah, I did
Well, they
hear
shouldn't
about
be
that.
there without their parents, but
Yeah.
once you're in, you're not necessarily with your parents, so.
Exactly.
And what are you doing on your phone that you're bleeding that much battery?
Right, and they live
Well, I
on their
think the
phones, so.
Isn't when the phones have to work hard, they drain the battery quicker, so if the.
I mean, if they're on it, if they're just, it's in their pocket, yeah, so, and they live on it. But, no, I mean, that's a good idea, and
Charging
this is
station's
why
not a
we
bad
talk
thing to
about things
try.
like that.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing to
yeah.
try and see if people use it.
Right, I did hear that a teenager unplugged a vendor, so, like a food vendor, one of their refrigerators or something to charge their phone.
Got to charge phone, you got to charge phone.
Because that is very much
Priorities,
more
right?
important.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then a little off topic, but based off what you said last time about the sensory hub, I did reach out to Crown Point Fire, and then we're going to try and get it for next year.
Oh, great, thank you, thanks.
Yeah,
Perfect.
definitely. And you talked to the food vendors, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, did
For
any
Fest
feedback?
and fireworks.
Any feedback for Fest?
For Fest, it was mainly like lining up. So I think logistic-wise, whether they made a mistake on their application of what direction they're facing or what side their hitch was on, but all things that we can kind of deal with day of, and then next year we'll be more mindful of.
Okay.
But overall, we got good feedback.
Okay.
No complaints or refund requests, so overall,
Great.
very good.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a few questions. I didn't pay, by the way. I went on Sunday, and so I got in free, and I went in the right line. But I noticed that in your budget, and I know we don't have the final numbers, which is fine, we were budgeting about $75,000 for fee, for non-residents, I think, to come in. When I got there Sunday, it was probably about 4 o'clock. I was the only person in the Schererville line, and there were probably 100 people in the non-resident line.
Yep.
Correct.
And I'm just wondering, I've been a part of 2 organizations in the past that have eliminated their fest or something like that because it's not appearing to hit a lot of the Schererville residents. I mean, I don't know what the makeup is. Will we have an idea of how many Schererville versus non-Schererville people were there?
Well, for non-Schererville, it was about 7,500 for the 3 days, I want to say. Residents,
No, just because we checked IDs, we gave them
Yeah.
wristbands, but the wristbands are really flimsy, so they were blowing all over the place. We could have counted them, but
Yeah.
there's so much error in that now, so.
I mean, obviously, the ratio ain't 1 to 100 when I was there.
Correct.
But what would be your general guess, best guess as to what the makeup of residents versus non-residents would have been?
I don't necessarily think that, so I know you've seen the lines where non-resident was super long and
Right.
resident wasn't, but it's the fact though too that residents were just walking straight in.
That's
You know,
true.
we were able to move them a lot
Okay.
quicker where the other line, there was a
Sure, you had to
cost.
do that.
Yeah, there was so much information we had to put in the system, pay. We did have, like Harley would walk through the line and try to get some people in faster to move them into the second line. It's just, it goes back to staffing too. There are things that we learned, like we need more stripe readers, which are the card readers that, for us to scan. So I don't think that that's a reflection on the whole total.
Yeah.
If I were to guess, I don't know, what would you say? Like, I don't think it was less than, if that's what you're
You
asking.
think Schererville had just as many as?
Yeah, I would, especially more towards the start of it.
Okay.
As it got later, that's when, yes, the crowds changed.
And
just like
that's where I
those.
agree with Irene. Depending on the time of day, it made a
Right.
huge difference.
Right.
Earlier
No,
in the day,
I'm sure,
yeah, it was it was so many Schererville residents, that line was really long after a while.
Right.
But like she said too, no one was reading the signs, so we were just constantly having to move people into the correct line. I was running around yelling, if you're a Schererville resident, move over here. So it was just, that's where it got congested. Everyone coming in, it was hard to get people to go to the correct line, which is where Olivia brought up bigger signage
No,
for
I know,
next year.
I know in the past we've discussed, part of the reason we do this is, we make quite a bit of money and stuff, which is a good thing, but, and obviously this year, I'm sure we're gonna make less because of 2 days not being there, but is it worth the headaches, if it's a 50-50 split of Schererville versus non-Schererville, of having this event anymore? I mean, there's something to look at. I don't wanna really just, I don't really wanna make a conclusion on that till I see the financial numbers and stuff.
One thing that I can say about Fest, though, it is crucial for our department, with the aspect that if we don't have it, this is a very large portion of our budget that will be gone. So, this pays
Yeah,
summer
yeah.
staff.
Yeah.
Well,
I know at the end of the year, like when I give you guys, not the end of the year, the beginning of the next year, I'll give you a breakdown and we'll have like a pie chart. If you look, Fest is always the biggest chunk.
Yeah.
It's a good 30-40% of our overall budget for the year.
Yeah, Fest
let me
carries
just give you
us
one
through.
example, like the church that I belong to, we had festivals for about 20 years. New pastor came in, did it for a couple of years, didn't want to do it, so we got rid of it. A lot of revenue. So we went to a 50-50 raffle every week, where we make $50,000 a year doing nothing but collecting envelopes. So is there another creative thing we could do to make up for the loss of revenue if we in fact don't have a festival?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely something we could talk about. We don't have the ability to do a 50-50 raffle every
No,
week,
I'm
right?
not saying that, I'm just saying
Replace
some
the
other.
revenue.
Oh, yeah.
But I get your point.
You have to have a
for sure.
license for 50-50, I think.
Pardon me?
As us, yeah.
No, I'm
being
not
a
saying
town.
do a 50-50, that's the idea they came up with, and it ends up being
Gotcha. Okay.
$50,000 a year doing nothing but collecting envelopes.
Yeah.
And I will say, Joe, I totally understand what you're saying, but that's a common thing we hear, where can we do something else or more things to make up for that revenue? That would be very, very difficult for us to do that with our capabilities we currently have. So Fest carries us through the rest of the year.
Right. Did you guys discuss, one of the things that frustrates the heck out of me when I come to that event is parking.
Yeah.
I came there one day during the week just to see how things were going. I think it was Wednesday, and I just went up and down the streets and how many signs there were, no parking, no parking, no parking. I'm thinking, where in the heck are all these people going to park at? And I think we shuttle bussed them from a couple places, didn't we? But is that a concern at all? Is that feedback you get from people, the parking?
It's been something that's been brought up before, which we could definitely look into, but
As
a
long
big
as
reason why
as long as we're at Reader, there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, there's not
As long
many
as
alternatives.
the Fest is at Reader,
Right.
there is nothing we can do about parking.
And we,
Like,
you know,
that's-
when it comes to the no parking signs in neighborhoods, we have to put the no parking signs where there are, on the side where there are fire hydrants.
No, I understand that. No,
And that's also
believe
for
me,
the
I
residents.
understand that,
Yeah.
Right,
they're there for a reason.
Right.
I'm just saying,
right.
it just seemed like it got farther and farther.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know, and I know we discussed this a couple years ago, do we move it to Ormond where there is more parking availability? I don't know.
I mean, we talked about building a parking lot in Beedron Park and turning that into parking. And, I mean, it
That
was,
land's not liable, I mean,
land is not really
Right,
conducive.
it's-
We did do a mock-up though, and for the amount of money we would have to spend.
Right.
yeah,
Versus how often it would like realistically get used.
Right.
You weren't gaining a whole lot.
The juice wasn't worth the squeeze.
Right.
Like, it just
Right.
wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
All right.
great thoughts. Any other questions, comments from the board? Nope, okay. Why don't we move on? I don't think we have any old business, so why don't we jump straight to new business? I'm guessing we have someone from the Schererville Firefighters Union. Sir, if you want to come up, and if you could make sure you speak into the mic, B, please state your name and address for the record, and then we'd be happy to hear from you.
My name is Colin Zakovic. I'm the Vice President of the Schererville Firefighters Union, Local 4279. Address is 605 213th and Dyer. So basically what I submitted to Nicole Kelly and submitted to you guys, obviously there's nothing we can do about the 2 canceled days of Wednesday and Thursday with the fest, but we saw a huge drop in sales on Saturday, and a lot of things that we were hearing from people coming in was people saying, hey, I had to pay $10 to get in. I had to pay $20 to get in because it was me and my wife. $40 because it was their wife, or it was their family coming in. They were because they were residents. A lot of complaints about that, just from what we were hearing. And like he said, we had a huge drop in sales. In comparison to 2025, I mean, on Saturday it was a 60% drop alone. And I get it, we take on the risk and everything, especially when we put in the request for proposal and everything, but also we didn't know about the $5 to $10 admission fee prior to us submitting it. Not that it would have changed much when it came to what we usually do, the $7,500 base fee plus the percentage, but we would have seen, hey, you know what, there's probably gonna be, we were kind of expecting, in some sense, a little bit of a drop after we found out about the admission fee. What I'm proposing here is, I know that in our proposal it is the $7,500 plus the percentage. If we go through that on top of all of the expenses that we have, our union would be losing almost $3,000 in the hole. We'd be in the red. What I'm looking to do is, and for future too, possibility is, after expenses are completed, our expenses, because we are the ones that are paying for the alcohol, paying for security, doing charity donations, bathrooms, ice, all that stuff, we would do, after expenses are done, we would do a 50-50 split. This year it'd be about $3,000. Last year, I think we paid the town $11,000 in their portion. You guys would have made probably about 15 to 16 after we split. So it's a whole symbiotic relationship of, hey, the better that we do, the more the town makes. The worse we do, at least nobody's landing in the red. So that's what I'm kind of looking to propose for a change when it comes to our obligation this year, is that we just we do a 50-50 split, where after all the expenses are done, there's $6,332.37. We would split it 50-50, so both the town and us would be making about $3,166.19. That's what I'm looking to propose. Like I said, I know we take on the risk and everything, but also we are the ones that, like, the decisions that are made, we have to deal with, especially like the bands that are picked. And not that I'm saying that the bands were not good this year, they were actually very good, in my opinion, but it's also the draw. Last year, in 2025, we had Red Revolution. They did amazing. She did an amazing job. She brought in families, and that's that more family-centric that everybody's talking about, is maybe getting more bands that appeal to the kids so that families are going, hey, I'm gonna bring my kid to this and let them listen to Taylor Swift or let them listen to more pop or whatever's going on right now. Well, I can go and, relax, get food, get drinks and stuff like that. Another idea too is lowering the amount of rides, and then kind of making more of a theme of, our food vendors. Like this year, there was 16 lemonade shake-up stands. Like, do we really need to be selling 16 different stands, or 16 stands selling the same thing? We could have more, grilled food, barbecue food, smoker, pulled pork, like stuff like that, and kind of focusing more on that, kind of like how Griffith does like the barbecue and blues. If we did barbecue and like kind of shift the theme towards more making it, hey, this is more of a musical fest with some rides and more family oriented, I think that would be profitable for everybody. Because I think that's the thing is that, yes, shutting it down at 9 o'clock for letting kids under 21 in is great, but we need to be drawing in those families that have younger kids that want to come spend time there, that want to spend their money there, versus just kind of, hey, I'm coming in to see this band and then leave. So that's just kind of what I wanted to bring up.
Okay. Questions from the board?
I'm fine.
If I can, when did this get sent out?
The proposal?
Yeah.
I want to say it was like June, like middle of June. Let me see. It was after the fest. I think it was about a week after the fest. I sent it to Nicole Kelly.
Yeah, you sent it to me, and we sent it out to the park board too
Yeah.
immediately. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking to,
So a couple of like just general comments, just so
Yeah.
that you just kind of, first of all, we've been partnering with you guys on this for a long time.
Yeah.
Hopefully you feel we've been good partners.
Oh, yeah.
We feel the same about you. A couple things. We don't control the vendors,
Right.
right? Like the vendors pay. So like, I love barbecue. I'd
Yeah.
love to have, a barbecue stand for every type of barbecue that's out there.
Right.
And, like, that would make me very happy. But obviously we can't force people to come out.
Right.
If someone wants to come out and sell barbecue, then they will. And if they don't, then we're just not gonna have any barbecue.
Right.
So some of that stuff is like just not generally in our control.
Yeah.
Same with the bands. I mean, we do our best to sign bands that are gonna, carry to a broad audience.
Right.
That aren't just specifically focused on, one artist or one generation.
Correct.
Or one type of music, because obviously that benefits us too. So, we're obviously trying to.
Yeah.
But we can only sign who we sign, and,
Right.
it's what's available. One question I would have for you is, in your letter, you seem to at least imply very strongly that the primary reason, and I'm asking this as a question, I want to confirm that I understand what you're saying, that the reason behind the decline in beer ticket sales was the new policy. Do you feel that way? And tell me, I hear you heard people complain, but do you have evidence that backs that up?
If you look at 2025, and if you look at 2024 and 2023, each one of those days had rainout days.
Yeah.
And we were still making 45,000, if not more, in ticket sales.
Yeah,
This year, yes, Wednesday and Thursday got canceled.
yeah,
In 2025, Wednesday was canceled. Thursday was $6,000. That's a normal Thursday, and I can bring up I have all previous years that I've been running it.
Yeah, sure.
Before it was Aaron running it. But let's look at 2025. Rained out on Wednesday. Thursday was 6,000. Friday was 10 to 12,000.
Yeah.
And then Saturday was 16,000. And this year, and that was with last year on 2025 and Saturday, it started raining probably around 10, 30, 11 o'clock. So people were leaving. And mind you, that's not a high selling time.
Sure.
You know, but you'll still get stragglers that are like, hey, I need to get rid of these tickets. Let me grab, another 2 beers or something like that. I mean, we do maybe about a couple thousand, 2,000 to 3,000
Yeah.
in that last 2 hours of the night.
Yeah.
Especially because that's when the band usually does like a set break and they come back out.
Yeah.
But this year, like I said, it was $6,000. I mean, it was $6,000 on Saturday, and it was perfect weather. I mean, it was warm. The bands were on. Like, there wasn't any sort of issues. There was no rain. I mean, there was threats of rain, but like, it stayed perfectly clear.
Yeah.
And then even like I said, Friday of 2025 was 15,000.
Yeah.
Same thing. And Saturday this year was, Friday this year was 10,000.
Yeah.
I truly do think that a lot of people, and I don't think it was directly affecting the beer sales. A lot of if you look at a lot of the bands that play around this area, when they go to a bar or they go to a restaurant like 41 North or something like that, and they play there, they're playing for free. So the draw is to get people to come in and like order food and buy drinks and stuff like that. A lot of people, when they hear, oh, hey, this band's coming in, I gotta pay $5 to see them. I'm not even paying $5 to go see my friend play at, 41 North or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think that drew a lot of people away, especially because we're also competing with Dyer, Griffith, and usually a Crown Point Fest. It's one of the hundreds they have.
Cornfest,
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah, on that same weekend.
Yeah.
And people are gonna go, okay, I can either go to Dyer where it's free, or I go to Schererville where I'm gonna have to pay $10 or $5 because I'm a non-resident. They're gonna go where it's free because they're gonna see the same band. Like let's be honest with ourselves.
And I'm hearing that, and just
Yeah.
one of the things I'm thinking about, and I'm gonna leave this to our staff to
Yeah.
determine if this is even remotely logistically possible.
Mm-hmm.
But one potential idea is to have an area cordoned off where if you're just there to listen to music and have a couple beers, resident or non-resident, you're not paying the fee. I don't know if that's even remotely feasible.
21 and over. 21 and over can be free. The reason being is that that's not a foreign concept. There are bars down, there's a country bar down in Lowell that when you go in there, they do line dancing and this, that, and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
If you're 21 and over, there's no cover. If you're under 21, it's a $5 cover because they know you're not coming in there to buy the alcohol. You're just coming in there to listen to the band and line dance.
Right.
So it's not a foreign concept. And also, two, when somebody comes in and they're 21 and over, they can get carded right then and there and get a wristband.
Yeah.
A Miller Lite wristband or whatever, the 21 and over wristband.
And I don't think the problems we've had in the past with idiots.
Yeah.
will
Most
say it
cops have
nicely.
come up to us
Right,
and
we
said
don't-
the safest spot in the whole fest is the beer garden area and the music
Yeah,
area.
because it's adults.
Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah, I
adults.
gotcha.
And adults know, hey, if I mess up, I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
So-
The thing that I want you to know is obviously with what happened last year.
Yeah.
Last year was such a bad problem.
Right.
And I think I expected this. I don't know if anyone else expected this when we started implementing this. I was like, okay, the odds are we're probably going to over-rotate the other direction.
Yeah.
Because of how bad last year and the year before was.
Right.
We're going to react, and we may react too strongly.
Yeah.
So we're trying to feel all that stuff out.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
The thing that I want to let you know, because we were talking with our attorney about this before, is because this is a bid process, right?
Right.
You guys bid and you win the bid.
Right.
But because there is a legal process by which we have to go through to put something like this out for bid, we don't even know if legally we have the authority to change the agreement retroactively after the fact, because doing so may adversely affect
I gotcha.
other bids that may have come in lower than yours that we didn't accept.
I
So
understand.
our attorney needs some time to research that.
Okay.
So we want to work, I think we all agree, I feel comfortable speaking for the board.
Yeah.
We appreciate working with you guys. You guys have been great, I'll call you a vendor, but great partners with us.
Right.
Every year, and you always do a fantastic job. We want to work with you.
Okay.
We have to make sure that we follow the laws that are in place when it comes to this process, so that we're making sure that we're not doing anything that's not above board.
Yeah.
But give us some time to kind of work through it.
Totally
and then
understand.
We'll going forward, you can submit it whatever bid you want.
Okay.
So like in the future, if you want to submit a bid that is
Yeah.
only, maybe it's a higher share of the profits and
Yeah.
no guaranteed amount, you can submit whatever bid you want.
Okay.
And we go through that process.
Yeah.
That's, it, you know, it's not really like a normal contract negotiation, if that makes sense, in
No,
that sense.
totally.
So,
The contract itself grew over time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the more it got into rain dates and bad bands and whatever else came up, the less risk this board wanted to take.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that became 7,500. It started out at 5,000.
Yeah,
and it
right.
became 7,500. It's
Yeah.
like, this is what we want from the park board.
Right.
I don't want to touch the stuff.
Right.
And then you give me a little bit of your profit and we're done.
yeah.
Yeah.
We may need to change that too, right?
But
But
we
also,
can
it's a
only-
bidding process, so,
We can only take what he bids.
Yeah.
Or
Right,
what
yeah.
someone bids.
Yeah.
So if that wants to change, that's a function of the person providing.
the bid, right? Putting in the
Right.
bid. And so that's the other thing, like, we're gonna look at this together as a board with
Right.
our attorney, see what we're capable of doing, try to, and if we can,
Yeah.
try to figure out a way to work with you.
Right.
But also just understand, we're adapting.
Right.
And
No,
so
I
we'll just ask you
totally
to kind of
understand.
adapt
Right.
along with us.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
Because it's, obviously, it's, you know, we don't want there to be long lines to get in
Right.
either. We want to
Right.
keep out the riffraff, but we don't want there to be
No,
people
100%,
that not
yeah.
come and have a good time and spend money.
Right.
so.
Yeah, like I said, I thought the bands were very good, sound wise and everything, but I don't think they had the same draw that
Could
I
be.
think others had in the past.
Yeah.
Like, I know if Echoes would have played, that would have been a packed.
Yeah.
That was one thing I wanted to
Yeah.
mention, Colin. You did mention like Saturday last year, you know, you guys had a fantastic,
Right.
you know, revenue day for that. That was our Echoes Day. Yeah.
that was
so,
Echoes Day. Yeah, so
and
maybe
that's
let's
gonna
try and
be,
get Echoes on Saturday
right.
because they do great.
We did
Yeah.
try this year, but
Yeah,
they were
no, totally.
unfortunately booked already, so we had to do a Thursday, and then
Oh, yeah.
unfortunately Thursday got rained out.
They're a
but-
they're a huge band. That's why.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
that was the other thing that like I gotten feedback from my guys, and they're like, you know, hey, like we never heard of Land of Lincoln. Hey, we never heard of the Infinite Sadness. And
Yeah,
it's
I
like, no,
gotcha.
I get it. I said, but like, hey, like that's Lincoln Park. That's you know. All the millennial bands that played in the early 2000s, like they're covering that. It's kind of a nice difference from the usual 80s, and no offense to anybody that enjoyed 80s music, but the 80s
I got
music,
you.
you know, like it's something fun. So
Yeah, totally.
yeah, so that's all. And
No.
we want to continue our relationship as well too, because one, as firefighters, we love investing back into our community.
Yeah.
Big time. I mean, that's why we did the sponsorship for the fest. We also did the Candy Drop sponsorship, and we
Absolutely.
just love doing it because honestly, like, it's just what like
Good for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah.
but
Yeah, so that's where we sit with this, like we'll work through this and then
Yeah.
we'll let you know
Okay.
if we can help, what we can do to help. And,
Perfect.
And then, yeah, I would say going forward, I think the biggest thing, well, I will have to be careful about this because if you're submitting a bid, I don't know how much we're necessarily allowed to communicate with you. But
Right.
I would definitely recommend next year when you submit a bid,
Yeah.
ask what our policies are going to be
Okay.
so that you can budget that into your bid.
Yeah.
Because I don't expect you to like know
Right.
when we change the policy.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't necessarily expect them to think, oh, this might adversely impact X,
Right,
Y, and Z
right.
on your end. So just make sure we communicate on that as you're submitting the bid so that you know and can bid accordingly.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah. Sound good?
All right.
Do you guys know, like a side-by-side comparison, kind of a breakdown, like he has 25 in the days, how it went for sales per day for us? Just
Are you
traffic,
just-
I guess?
I think you
Are
were
you
going to
just-
tally, because we talked about that a little bit on the phone. You were
Okay.
going to tally that. That's part of what you still have yet to tally up.
Yeah.
It's like a breakdown.
Yes. So,
we'll
yeah, 'cause
probably
you're
hear about
just
that
talking
either at a
ride
study
ticket
session or
sales?
the next
Yeah,
meeting.
because I'm
Yeah.
curious, you know,
Yeah.
did
Well,
we
no.
see as big of a drop as they did, or is it just? that
He
people were
took a
putting-
big hit.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't have those exact numbers in front of me, but this year he took a big hit. Honestly, the only thing that saved us was ticket sales.
Okay.
Otherwise, we would be just in the red too, you know, and there's a lot of expenses that,
Do you think that the ticket sales was a big deterrent, or was it weather? Like, I'm
I-
curious.
I think it was more weather. I don't think ticket sales deterred at all. I feel like we were
My
just
only
as
worry
packed
with
as
the
we
weather was
normally
like
are.
we had a massive tornado come through
Right.
that did a massive amount of
I
damage.
know.
A lot of people
It was
Right,
like
I
a-
mean.
had to clean, like they
Yeah.
had just had to deal with it, and then
Right.
they had to spend
Yes.
money to.
I mean,
deal
I
with
think we
it,
got
yeah.
lucky on Sunday too because Dyer canceled.
Right,
And I think that's why we saw anybody come out.
Anyone come at all?
Yeah.
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 Because, yeah, it's Saturday, because, was it Thursday when Maryville got hit really bad or something like that?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
We
yeah.
just have to figure out, like, I feel like every year,
Yeah.
June, we
It's-
get
it's
really
weather.
weird, like, the assumption that June is gonna be a nice balmy,
Right,
Right.
yeah.
75 to 80 degrees is
Right.
probably a bad assumption
Yeah.
going forward.
I mean, and unfortunately, we're bound by the ride company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he has a tight schedule
He's got a
throughout,
schedule,
so
yeah.
that's kind of where we're at for now.
Maybe
I
something
mean,
we
it's
have to
not
look
that we
at,
can't
yeah.
talk to him, but it would be probably pushing it way farther in the year.
I understand, but
might
maybe
have-
out in the future, a
Yeah.
couple years down the road.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. So
Yeah.
weather
We
is
should
just
think
never our
about
friend
that.
for anything.
We
So,
should think about
yeah.
that, I think, because
Yeah.
we're just, every year,
Yeah.
I think the last 4 years, we've had at least one day that's gotten, like, just completely.
Oh, yeah,
tornado
yeah, probably the
wiped
last
out.
maybe 3-4 years,
Yeah,
for sure.
I think so.
We lost
So we
a day.
we maybe keep shooting ourselves in the
And
foot.
there's been a couple days where it's been only like 60 degrees out,
Yeah.
like the high, and then like the low is in the 55, and people are like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't really want to.
Yeah.
Right,
No,
yeah.
I would go out in that.
Oh, yeah,
That sounds
right.
amazing to me.
And I
but,
get it. It's
yeah.
it's a total crapshoot, and
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's very tough. So yeah, I mean, like I said, we want to work with you guys
Yeah.
as much as we can, and
Yeah.
figure it out, and yeah, just so that it's a success for everybody. So
And we appreciate all your feedback on this. Like,
No
this
problem.
is great. Like, this has been a great learning process for us too. So we're gonna
Right.
take all this and, excuse me, try to make sure it's excellent going forward. So
because
thank you very much.
the old way that used to be where it was a 21 and over section, and like people couldn't walk around with their alcohol. I don't know how much of that, and it's something I can look into and something I can ask Aaron when he was running it, if they saw much change. I mean, some people are like, oh, I can walk around, but most people usually like, they're coming, like I love where we're at right now because we're right by the end of the food. Everybody grabs their food and then sees us and says, okay, I'm gonna grab my drinks, and then there's that tent right there.
Yeah.
But the one thing is that not a lot of people ask, like, oh, hey, can I walk around the whole park? They kind of know, oh, I'm going to kind of sit here and watch the band. And I don't know if creating a 21 and over section, like one tent, so that people can say, hey, I'm going into a bar atmosphere versus
Yeah.
a bunch of kids running around as I'm trying to sit here and have drinks with my friends.
Yeah.
So it's just something that, like, I'm going to talk to my guys, see if they heard anything at the bar area or at the serving area, because I was
Be
more
helpful to
focused on
know.
tickets and stuff.
Yeah.
Seeing if people were like, man, I wish there wasn't so many kids running around in the tent next to the beer garden.
Yeah.
You know, kind of a, hey, I want to sit there, listen to my, talk to my friends and drink and stuff like that. So,
And
It
I
is a
think the
big
reason that we kind of switched that is
Yeah.
because to play devil's advocate, on
Yeah,
the
the
opposite
parents.
side, it was parents who
Yeah.
wanted to go do things,
Right.
but they were like, oh, I can't be stuck in the beer garden.
exactly.
So they were fine.
Exactly.
So,
No, yeah, and that's the thing. I mean,
Can you do
I would say
both,
still
though?
keep it.
Right.
And can you do both, where there is a section where young kids can come in,
The-
but adults can go out?
They can
That-
go in currently.
Yeah.
It's family friendly.
But, well, I'm
But I
saying,
think, can you also,
do
could
it-
you have a 21 and
That,
only?
the
I
beer
see.
garden, the
Okay.
tent, like that
That's
one tent they
just for
put on the
them.
end,
Yeah.
closer to South Park Avenue. Yeah,
We
maybe,
can-
and
right.
we could talk about maybe making it 21 and over,
Yeah.
and just kind of saying here, like that's for people that want to go and hang out, and don't want to be around
Yeah, and
kids.
you don't care about rides, and
Yeah.
honestly, you don't want to be around kids either.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
kind of just giving them that, because there are
They
people
would
like
probably
that.
be
Right.
more likely to
Yeah.
go, honestly.
Exactly, and that's what I was wondering.
Like
Like,
that existed.
Yeah.
we can try and figure that out next year.
It's doable.
Yeah.
It's just more too, is that going to cause confusion?
Probably.
I was,
You know what
I
I
don't
mean?
know.
Like,
I
wouldn't
agree with
be,
Irene.
like,
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
the tent
Oh,
next to you
100%.
guys, maybe that's only 21 and older. But now,
Right.
do people think they can't leave? Like, they have to stand under that tent?
Right.
So,
We
where...
Just
always
like the
have
QR
signs.
codes, we'll have to figure it out, right?
But I also think it
There'll
gets a
be a
little
learning
it gets a little
curve, but-
confusing too,
Right.
because when we talk about we want more of a family friendly atmosphere,
exactly.
but then we're having a 21 and only area.
Right.
It's hard to do all of those things.
Yeah.
I
It's-
think
it's
we
a-
can I think we can at least have a conversation about this,
For
maybe
sure.
even have a study session and talk
Yeah.
through
And
some
if
of
you,
these ideas,
if
because I
they
think
could
it's
get the
worth talking about.
numbers about how it was before when it was exclusive, that would
Yeah.
help if it's even worth it, or if it's not, if it was just
Yeah.
a fluke
Right.
year.
I still say keep it to where like how we have it right now, because there are plenty of parents that come up. And they're like, oh, do I have to stay in this area? I'm like, no, you can go and walk around. They're like, oh, awesome. Here, actually, I want $20 worth instead of buying my one beer. So that's a huge bonus because there's not much for the 21 and over to do other than to spend some money. So it kind of is hey, like it's an added bonus of that we close off the whole park. They're able to walk around the whole park. But, you know, like I said, even if there was and this is something that like me and my guys will talk about of like, hey, how many people actually complain about being around kids? So I don't think there was many because from what I saw standing there with the tickets sales, is that there was plenty of like area where there were older adults just kind of chilling and they were able to find their own little spot away from the kids.
Yeah.
So it is what it is with that. I mean, you can't please everybody,
Yeah.
but you know, it's just something that, hey, a couple gentlemen came up to me like, hey, you know, it'd be smart to have in a 21 and over section. It's like, yeah, but I already have a police officer there. And I'm paying $45 to $50 an hour to sit there.
Yeah.
I don't need them watching you and watching, you know, having to card everybody because that's the more important part is that we make sure that people are 21 and over before they're getting their tickets because that's where ATC and the state will step in and get us in trouble.
Yeah, we don't want to mess around with that.
And I'm more concerned about that than making sure you have a 21 and over area so that you can just be belligerent. So,
Okay.
all right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey,
Thank you.
appreciate the feedback. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Were you gonna make a motion?
Yeah. We make a motion to table?
Oh,
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll make a motion to table.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion to table carries 4-0. Any other business? Any business from the floor? When's our next meeting?
Trophies,
I'm sorry?
the
The
trophies.
trophies.
Oh,
I'm taking them.
should I just announce them?
Yeah.
Can, yeah.
Okay,
I think he's got one more thing.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'm just going to use this as a shameless plug.
for
We
it.
have our golf outing, the Schererville Firefighters Golf Outing. We support Hoosier Burn Camp, Project Fire Buddies, and Logan's Love
Okay.
with our proceeds.
When is
So August 28th. Hopefully, we're probably going to sell out this year. So
Okay.
if any of you guys golf and want to put a foursome together,
Cool.
do it earlier than later. I have flyers if you guys want to see it, and also whole sponsors as well too.
Sounds great.
Cool, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Colin, I can
Thanks.
take it if you want. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
You're good.
Okay.
Trophies.
Trophies. Oh, where's my thing? Okay, I'm going to announce the parade winners. This is the trophy that you win. Are they? Do they say it? Okay. Oh no, I want to make sure I hold up the correct trophy. So let's do it this way. Okay. So we will start with the best walking unit. The winner of the best walking unit this year was Lake Central Marching Band. So congratulations, Lake Central Marching Band. This is your trophy. Please see park staff, and you can pick that up. Well done. Next, we have best vehicle. The winner of the 2026 Best Vehicle Award is Sounds of Sarah. So congratulations, Sounds of Sarah. Here's your trophy. Please reach out to park staff, and we go ahead and get that to you. And then lastly is Best Float. This feels a little biased, but the winner of the Best Float Award was actually Schererville Parks and Recreation Department. So way to go, Schererville Parks and Recreation Department. Well done. I know that this is completely above board and well earned because you guys work so hard. So congratulations. Please see your park staff so you can get your trophy.
Thank you.
And with that, we just need a motion to adjourn.
Next meeting?
Oh, the next meeting is when?
Oh, I always
August
have it written
5th?
down. August, yeah, that sounds about
Okay.
right. Yep,
Just a heads up, so you know in advance, I will not be able to be at the next meeting.
Okay.
So that you know.
yes, August 5th.
Okay?
And if you want, I'm going to be at Lake Central tomorrow. Do you want me to take the trophy to the?
That'd be great. Thank you.
Hey,
Call them and make sure he gives it to them. This man loves trophies.
you know, all said and done, I mean, the staff, you guys did a great job. I
Yeah.
mean,
Thank you.
Well
I'm
done, you guys.
thinking, you know, watching this weather, I mean, you know, is it on, is it not on? You know, this is really, a lot of you, your first time at this level handling this, and you guys did a a great job and stuff, and let's just hope for better weather, that's all.
Right.
Well
Thank you
said.
very much.
Well
Thank
said.
you, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we work with what we have, you know what I mean? And everybody has different thoughts, and we're trying to please everybody, and you know.
I know you're
that
trying,
can't
I know it's all
happen.
trial and error too.
Yeah,
Like, there's no
so-
way to just know how this is gonna
Right,
turn
right.
out.
But just so you know, we listen, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Every time
absolutely.
you guys have
No, you
suggestions,
obviously listen,
definitely,
We've
yes.
made changes. and-
Never had
right,
any.
residents, everybody,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Okay, then, we need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
And we have
Se-
one. Is there a
second.
second. We have motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries 4-0. Meeting is adjourned. Have a great July, everyone.